Welcome to the image sizing and compression presentation for CIT 230. Have you ever visited a website that takes forever to load? Or you have limited megabytes or gigabytes in your phone plan and you realize that when you browse certain sites you run out of mobile credits? My name is Nicolas Carlini and I will be sharing some useful information to make your website faster, which will end up in better user experience. These are the 4 topics we will review today. The quality of the image, what visual impact does a high and low quality image has. The size of the image will impact the transfer rate. We may be tempted to use images to make certain effects and fonts. We can use CSS to replace those. High quality images have comforting visual effect. The image resolution is the amount of detail it holds. We will translate these details into pixels. The more pixels an image has, the more details it can hold. The spectrum of the colors an image uses can go from a simple black and white to millions of colors. This has a high effect on the quality of the image. High quality images can be zoomed in and relatively hold the details. Low quality images have a pixelation effect when zoomed in. We will learn that higher quality can mean higher image size. This will be transferred to cost. Although cost can mean a monetary weight, in this case we will refer to cost as image size, which will mean longer transfer times, which means the user has to wait longer for the image to load. Let's review some examples. On the left we have a high quality image. Its size is approximately 3200 times 2400 pixels. When we zoom in, we can still see some levels of details. On the left, a lower quality image. When we zoom in, we can see the different colored boxes. This is the pixelation effect. It does not have a pleasant effect when we're trying to show details. Let's compare the attributes of these 2 files. The low quality image is approximate 450 by 350 pixels. We save the image as a JPEG file and we see that the size is 37.6 kilobytes. The high quality image is almost 9 times bigger when referred to amount of pixels. When we save this file, it is 211 kilobytes. So what should we use? Low quality or high quality images? Well, that all depends on what we want to achieve. Here's an example of how low quality image and a high quality image look exactly the same. So again, what should we use? As a general rule, we should choose the quality according to the size of the image you want to have in the website. For example, it does not make sense to have a 3000 by 3000 image if we are going to show it in a 300 by 300 area in the HTML. On the other hand, there are some situations we want to use a very high definition. A beautiful landscape background image is an example. Use high quality for the images where it is expected to show details. For example, a gallery page can have low quality thumbnails of the pictures, but when we click on them, it loads the high quality images. Image compression is a type of data compression applied to digital images to reduce their cost for storage or transmission. Different algorithms are used for compression. Image compression may be lossy or lossless. Lossless compression is preferred for archival purposes and often for medical images, technical drawings, clip art, or comics. Lossy compression methods, especially when used at low bit rates, introduce compression artifacts. Lossy methods are especially suitable for natural images, such as photographs and applications where minor, sometimes imperceptible loss of fidelity is acceptable to achieve substantial reduction in bitrate. Lossy compression that produces negligible differences may be called visually lossless. Let's review some image types. JPEG is a commonly used method of lossy compression for digital images. The degree of compression can be adjusted, allowing a selectable trade-off between storage size and image quality. JPEG typically achieves 10:1 compression with little perceptible loss in image quality. The BMP file format, also known as bitmap image file, is capable of storing two-dimensional digital images for monochrome and color in various color depths. Since compression is optional, BMP files usually take more storage space. The following is a comparison of the file sizes. JPEG files are compressed and require less storage space. BMP images are exponentially bigger in size. A file 212 kilobytes in JPEG file can be saved as a BMP and the size increments to 23 megabytes. For some file formats, allow us to set some special properties. For example, if we save the file as a PNG or GIF, we can set the interlace property. This will allow the image to load in linear mode. For slow internet connections, the user has a perception that the website image loads from top to bottom, all in high quality. Progressive file types will load the image with very low quality or high pixelation and will progressively render the image to higher quality. The user's perception is that sometimes something is loading. Let's see what it is. Let's see an example of how compression and image quality can be an advantage. Here's an HTML with two images. I have forced the size of both of them so they look the same. One of the images is a high quality JPEG and the other is a BMP. Now let's open the DevTools and look at the network transfer times. Our first test is locally in my machine. Since there is no networking I/O, the load time depends on my hard drive. The JPEG file loaded in 4 milliseconds and the BMP in 289 milliseconds. There's a big difference in loading time, but running the test locally does not really give us the end user experience. Now if we take a look at the same test but loading the files from the internet, we can really see the difference. The BMP file took 19 seconds to load. This is unacceptable timing and will give us a poor user experience. Can you imagine having 3 images that take each 20 seconds to load? By the time the website loads, our user will be browsing somewhere else. Now let's look at the CSS image effects. We can use CSS to apply effects to our images. This will allow us to reduce the amount of images we need in our website. For example, if we will use the same picture with 12 different effects, we can use one image and apply the effects on each instance. Otherwise, we will need 12 different images, which would mean 12 times the storage space. There are many other effects we can use, like render corners, Polaroid style, thumbnails, etc. Not all effects are compatible with all browsers. There's a tendency that older browsers will not be able to render many new CSS effects. The image effects is one of them. Similarly, there are many font effects we can apply with CSS. This will reduce the amount of images we would need for our website. There are many sites with free CSS text effects examples. These are just a few examples from freefrontend.com. You may visit the site and see the top 10 CSS text effects. This is all for my presentation. Let's work to have the correct image sizing and compression to give the user a great experience. And also let's learn CSS styling for fonts and images to reduce the amount of files we need. Thank you very much.